Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Some Magical Story Time and another story in the Zedderverse category. We're continuing on with the spin-off. This is part 2 of Branston Academy First Class. This is a Zedder's Education. It was a very busy first term at Branston Academy for Zedders, as the staff and students were working hard to keep up appearances in the school. This was because the Founders Committee had had to expel one of their students for giving himself a blasphemous code name, and refused to cease using it. The student's ability was that of creation, and he decided to rename himself God from the Creator, and was expelled for his act of blasphemy. It had been 2 weeks since then, and there was now a school-wide ban on the use of his name, Civilian or Zedder. Doing so would lead to the automatic expulsion of the student who uttered either name. In order to prevent any such utterance of either name, the Founders Committee had appointed Madison's mum, Morgana, as the school's chief disciplinarian, due to her power of precision judgment, which granted her the ability to scan people's minds to determine precisely whether or not they were innocent. If she read guilt on a person's mind, she'd read the precise level of guilt to punish them accordingly with what crime or misbehavior they were guilty of. This earned her the code name the Precision Judge, which suited her perfectly. It was the middle of the night and 2 boys were out of bed wandering the corridors. Their names were Thomas Fillmore and Justin Jarrett, and they were practicing their powers. Justin's power was invisibility, which obviously allowed him to become invisible. But he hadn't demonstrated it yet, so he made himself invisible for a minute before returning to normal. Thomas's power was elemental control, which allowed him to control the elements, and as such he'd used it to form a puddle on the floor into an ice statue, which was now standing by the entrance to the main hall. "Fillmore! Jarrett!" called a strict voice. It was Mrs. Branston, and she was not happy. "What are you doing out of bed? It's the middle of the night," she told them. Before the boys could answer, she escorted them to her office to question them. After questioning them for 15 minutes, and getting no satisfactory answers from either of them, she was forced to use her power on them, and learn. They were both just as guilty of breaking curfew after planning to do so between each other. "That's a detention for each of you, and let me see. I think 30 points from Branston House. Never let me catch you in the dead of night again. Back to bed this instant," she scolded, and sent them back to bed at once. By breakfast time next morning, the whole school knew it, and Madison shot the boys a warning look. "Don't even think about it, you two. My mum's already had to give you separate detentions and dock 30 points from us because of your behavior last night. Sit down and wait until Professor Branston dismiss us," she warned them. And they sat down. Classes were normal all morning until Professor Oliver Branston called on them in turn to demonstrate their powers, and they did. After seeing Thomas walk over to a live fire and use his power to bend and twist it into a sculpture upon turning it solid, as though he'd just built an incredibly detailed clay sculpture, Madison was most impressed. Tom, did you just Tom, did you make that ice sculpture out that now stands at the main entrance? She asked. I did indeed, Maddie, he replied. So that was a Zedder's education. The next story in this category is the fourth mainline story. So I will see you for that one eventually. But until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have us a magical time.